Alright, welcome back to the Spotlight Reviewing Station for the final monster figure so far out of the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Here we're going to take a look at the Mighty Morphin Pumpkin Wrapper, as it's called on the packaging. So let's go ahead and move him for a moment so we take a good look at it. That's the first thing we do on this channel. So, his Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Mighty Morphin Pumpkin Wrapper. There's the artwork for the character, which once again, more phenomenal to the artist. Ages 4 and plus, warning, choking hazard, Hasbro's logo right there. On this side of the packaging, we've got the rest of the artwork for Pumpkin Raptor. Raptor? Raptor. Yeah, sure, he's a dinosaur. I didn't realize that until now, right? Anyway, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. On this side of the packaging, we've got, once again, the picture of Pumpkin Wrapper. Not Raptor. And then on the back of the packaging, we've got the obligatory product shot of the figure in all of his glory. And as you can see, he's a pumpkin, not a raptor. Pumpkin, not a raptor. Pumpkin. Let's see if I can convince my brain to stop saying the wrong thing. Anyway, here is the character's figure up close in your face. Have some nice details on him, but most of it is just like these striped details going on all around his arms, legs, and torso. Really, the attention on the guy is around the neck, the collar, if you want to say that, and then, of course, the pumpkin head itself. Now, one thing that I do have to mention right away, don't get any ideas. This isn't what you should be expecting straight out package, because, okay, sorry about that. I was choking on my own words. But anyway, I painted the mouth, I painted the eyes. To make a long story short, out of packaging, none of this is painted. The only thing that's painted about his head is the black washing around the head itself, and the eye is actually painted in yellow. Take a look at the details on these vine pieces here that go around what would actually be the top of the pumpkin head. See? Yeah. Looks good. And we got this long piece here, which just gets in the way of the articulation for the right arm. But we'll go more into detail about the articulation in just a bit. He's got some vines coming out around his shoulders, which looks nice. Good look at his butt. Here's a look at his boots. That does have some black washing as well. But for the other parts that I haven't mentioned just yet, the arms, legs, and torso do not have any black washing. So it looks a little out of place, really. It's a little sightly here. Just a little bit. His head isn't, it's not solid. It's actually hollow on the inside. And the construction of this is actually unique because it's a giant ball joint in there with a long, elongated neck piece in order for this collar, as I'm going to call it, doesn't get in the way of the head movement. It's like you can get a really good range of motion on the figure, and you can kind of see it right there in that gap. Kinda. Maybe you can see it now. Anyway, that's about it for the details on Pumpkin Wrapper. Let's go ahead and get to the articulation. Like I said, he has a ball joint at the head. No hinge joint, just a ball joint. So, you know, you can get your full 360. You can get a little bit of some attitude posing here. You can get him to look up, kind of, and he can look down just a little bit. But it's fine. I get it. It's a little bit of a challenge to work around this thing. But for what they did here, the execution, it does work in places. Other than that, let's get to the shoulders. It is your universal joint with inward and outward movement. You do have a butterfly joint. You've got a bicep swivel cut, double jointed elbows, wrist swivel, hinge joint, inward and outward movement. Upper ball jointed torso, you've got your ab crunch for that much going back and this much going forward. You got a ball joint at the hips, that much kicking forward, that much going back. You can get this much of a split, which is pretty good. You got your thigh swivel cut, double jointed knees, which are tight, which is a nice thing. Swivel cut above the boot. And then you got your hinge joint for up and down movement at the feet, which also includes ankle rocker pivot on these weird looking feet, but hey, that's the design of the costume from the show. Let's take a look at some of his accessories that he has here, like the one that was on the back of the box. He's got this lightning effect piece. I say that only because it's translucent, but I think these are more like vines or something that can wrap around the Rangers if you want. I mean, maybe. Let me bring in for an example here, Mighty Morphin White. Yeah, kind of. Maybe if he wants to use it on Pumpkin Wrapper, he can. Look at that. See, it works. There you go. Now Pumpkin Wrapper has something to hit the White Ranger back with, but I'm not going to do that right now. He also has vines, I'm assuming. Yeah, a little more like snakes. Very long snakes, but they're not. They're vines. And you can just sit them down next to him. Wrap it around the White Ranger if you wanted to. With a little time and effort, I'm sure it can be done. There's that. He also has interchangeable hands. Yay! Anyway, you got your standard balled up fist for the left hand, and then he's got this open hand here for the right. The articulation on these are inward and outward movement. They're one and the same. I don't know what exactly he's going to grip here with this. I don't even think he can grip the... I can, but it's loose fitting here, so it's just going to fall out of his hands. I don't know. You know, you guys understand what these are for displayable options, but again, I prefer my figures just have hands that they can grip their weapons with if they come with weapons. If not, then give them just balled up fists for all I care. Last accessory this guy comes with, we got pumpkin heads. Yeah, check that out. And not just one, we got two, we got three pumpkin heads. So we've already got more accessories on this guy than we got with King Sphinx, which I got to question that $30 price point. You can see we got holes here, which of course you know all these figures have interchangeable heads, so all we got to do is just pop off White Ranger's helmet and put this in its place, and just like in the television show on this monster's debut, is able to trick the Rangers into putting these on their heads, or, you know, they just basically held them up and then all of a sudden they magically popped over their heads and caused them to suffocate a little bit. Get a general idea of how this works out. And if you want to, even though they didn't do this in the show, if you really wanted to, you could like have Pumpkin Wrapper controlling them by, you know, mind control. Something that wasn't done in the show, like I said. So why am I repeating myself? Does it really matter? Anyway, let's do some more size comparisons. If you haven't guessed by now, we are doing size comparisons. So here's King Sphinx with the improvements, which you can't see because of White Ranger. So yes, I went ahead and corrected some problems that I had with the figure. You know, minor nitpicks as I called them. Yes, I painted his mouth and I painted his nose. So he looks good now. It's the way it should have been, straight out of package, but whatever. Let's bring in some other figures. I'm just trying to show you what I can here so you can get an idea of how big these monsters are in comparison to the Rangers, which makes total sense. Finally, I'm going to go ahead and move all this stuff out of the way here so we can get a general idea of how big these monsters are compared to their master, Lord Zed. And if that's not good enough for you, how's about the real master of these monsters here, Rita Repulsa, because these are Season 1 monsters before Lord Zed even debuted in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I'll bring in a putty just because, so you get an idea of that. And since he's over here anyway, we've got Goldar for comparisons. So, yeah, this is quite the series. They didn't have to do this at all, but the fact that they did really does show that they are fans and they are paying attention to what we are saying, what we want, what could really benefit for this line and keep it thriving for the longest of time. This is the way to do it here. So keep it up, and I'll continuing to consume these figures as they come out, as long as I can afford them. Alright, so anyway, questions, comments, you know to do. Hit it down below in the comment section of the video. If you like today's video review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until then, this is Red is Raptor. Red is Power. Signing off, saying thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.